YouTube has a lot of content to watch. Some of it is long and some of it is short. Some of it is mild and some of it is radical. Now, with this in mind, I was curious to see if watching only YouTube shorts could speed up a descent into the alt-right political pipeline. Each short is not very long. So, in theory, indoctrination into a political ideology should be faster than the old-fashioned way of watching long-form content. So how many shorts does it take until YouTube starts recommending me far-right or alt-right content? Well, without spoiling too much, let's just say that it's not very long. Hey, it's been a minute, and welcome to... But before we get too far into this, we need to define what alt-right is. This is a hard thing to do, and the definition can be pretty subjective, so I brought a friend along to dive a bit deeper into this topic. Some of you may know him. He's an archaeologist, environmental scientist, and a phenomenal debunker of alt-facts and alt-history. I had the privilege to meet him and get to work with him on a fantastic video that will be coming out later. I'm not going to spoil anything, but here to talk about the alt-right pipeline is the great Milo Rossi.
Hey, it's been a minute. It has been a minute.
I'm trying to fit in.
Guys, today, to talk about the alt-right, I have Miniminuteman.
He sure does. In the flesh.
In the
person,
flesh.
right
He's
here.
right here. I'm curious because I think defining the alt-right or the far-right can be subjective. So I think there's some flags and some, maybe some signs that we need to look for when conducting this experiment. So I wanted to talk to you because you have dealt with sort of that alternative facts side of YouTube. So I would love to understand maybe the relationship between the alt-facts and the alt-right.
Absolutely. Well, Ben, that's a great question. For those of you that don't know, my name is Milo Rossi. I use the YouTube handle Miniminuteman, and I focus on archaeology and primarily pseudo-archaeology and alt-history, where I will, kind of weigh the claims made by the alt-history crowd and compare them to, well, actual research and facts. Now, I encounter this all the time in what I do. I think that there is a very strong parallel between sort of more far right-leaning sympathies and sort of the alternative history, alternative facts, sort of group. Now, I will say, and I think you made a good distinction with this at the beginning, that I want to avoid giving my own definition of what the alt-right is or the far-right is. Yeah. I think that's something that the viewers can kind of come up with on their own, unless you find a more standardized definition that isn't as subjective as what either of us would say. Sure. But this is something that we see a lot in kind of the history space where, at first you're kind of talking about ideas of, like ancient aliens and kind of like those more goofy things. And, you're watching your documentaries about, the lost advanced civilizations and things like that. And that's all very interesting and very endearing and something that's really thought-provoking. But as you begin to go sort of more and more into it, you begin to come across a lot of, characters and personalities that are really beginning to twist it a lot more into politics. And I think that kind of this correlation that we end up seeing between sort of alt history and sort of that alt-right pipeline is really this a combination of sort of anti-intellectualism as well as sort of this populist movement that has a really big distrust for any sort of authoritative body. Right. So any information coming out of academia is immediately written off as being biased or being misinformation or being a lie, and the information and sort of facts and deductions made by one individual is seen as somehow trumps all of that. And so that's, a difficult thing to sort of contend with as we, dive into the alt history field, because it is something that begins as something that isn't inherently political, but in my opinion, and from what I've seen doing this for quite a while, it eventually almost always does become something political. But we see it really, really heavily now where, it goes one day you're talking about, Atlantis, and the next day, you're seeing the same people talking about Atlantis using, anti-Semitic dog whistles. And it's like, whoa, how did we end up here, So what you're doing, I think, is really important, and I'm excited to see what becomes of it.
I am too. I have no idea what's going to happen yet. I haven't done it yet. So,
we have no idea.
Yeah, this is live.
We'll be back with Milo once we have some actual data and results at the end of the experiment. But for now, let's start getting things set up. All right, so we're going to make a brand new Google account. We're going to do Jane Doe. Do September 11th, 2001. Rather not say. The fun part about doing this with shorts is all I have to do is just click on this shorts tab right here and we're straight in it. I don't have to search for anything. I don't have to figure out where to start this experiment because it's just going to put me straight into a short. and then I'm gonna be in that short and see how long it takes for YouTube to suggest right-leaning shorts. Bon voyage. Here we go.
Alphabet, Glinda. Alphabet, Glinda. I'm a witch and I'm a witch. But which is which? Well, here's the thing.
Okay. All right. You may have already seen the video, but a few months ago, I conducted an experiment where I made a brand new YouTube account, enabled incognito mode, we'll get back to that in a minute, and auto-played long-form YouTube videos indefinitely to see if the algorithm eventually fed me far-right content. Now, I'm not gonna spoil the results from that video because you should definitely go watch it after this one. However, a lot of you in the comments pointed out some flaws with my methodology that I will be addressing and fixing for this go around with the YouTube Shorts. So here are the guidelines and changes I've made for this experiment. First things first, I will be using a VPN to hide my IP address. And on top of that, I'm using a private browser called Brave. None of these are sponsors, by the way. It was honestly a perfect opportunity for them to be, but they didn't respond to my emails. So this video is not sponsored. But if you like the shirt that I'm wearing, and you want to go pick one up for yourself and support the channel at the same time, you can go to the store linked down below in the description. My dad helped me design these. He's an artist, and I think they look really cool, so I hope you like them too. Thank you so much for checking them out. All right, where were we? Oh yeah, a lot of you also pointed out that by not watching the videos in their entirety, I was influencing the algorithm via watch time. So today I'm gonna be watching the whole short all the way through before scrolling on to the next one. Thank God they're not longer than a minute, or this video would probably take until the 2028 presidential election. Oh, what's that? They can be up to 3 minutes now? Awesome. God, I should have done this months ago. I will also be taping up my camera and my microphone on my computer, and I also want to make sure that I'm not muting any of the shorts while watching them. All of this could influence the algorithm, so I'm going to take all of the precautions. I'm not messing around this time. Also, if you see me looking down writing something, it's me tallying and keeping count of which short we're on. I think we've gotten the same song. It's the Lady Gaga and Bruno Mars Die With a Smile. What is the Sean Ryan show?
Lord, just as David called upon you in his
We're
time
getting
of
a little
distress,
Jesus
I
blessing,
call upon you
guys.
now. You are my
We're
defender
on
and my
Jesus
refuge in times of
shorts.
trouble. He's like,
Sean Ryan show. Okay.
fuck that is.
This is another Sean Ryan show clip.
Where's your intersecting sector of 5?
I don't know what that is. I wish I
And like
knew who that was.
And we're at a bomb maker's house.
I guess I'll find out.
for-
Well, I did find out. Now, I didn't know it at the time, but after doing a little bit of researching, I discovered some interesting things about the Sean Ryan show. Sean is a former Navy SEAL who has his own podcast where, quote, you will find war stories, self-help, and funny product reviews. Sounds pretty cool, right? But what he doesn't say in his bio is that just a few weeks ago, he had on Pete Hegseth, Trump's current pick for the Secretary of Defense, who is an alcoholic, an alleged rapist, a Christian nationalist, and what else? Oh yeah, and also his own mother called his behavior towards women despicable and abusive. During the podcast episode with Pete, Sean didn't question him on many of these things. Instead, he painted him in a very positive light, and they had a good old time chit-chatting about how sick being in charge of the largest military in all of human history would be. Yeah, sounds badass, dude. Cool. Now, I know what you're thinking. That's just one guy on the podcast who happens to lean to the right. And yeah, you're right. Right. But what I forgot to mention is that just in the past 6 months, he has also had on Tulsi Gabbard, Megyn Kelly, Kash Patel, RFK Jr., Tucker Carlson, Vivek Ramaswamy, Jordan Peterson, JD Vance, Donald J. Trump, and for all of my Google debunkers watching this, pseudo-archaeologist Randall Carlson. So yeah, there we go. It took only watching 48 shorts to get to one that was promoting the far right. Maybe not directly, but one click on the Sean Ryan channel and 2 podcast episodes later, and now I think the pyramids are actually ancient power plants, and that undocumented migrants have caused the housing shortage. All it takes is just one suggestion from the algorithm. This is why it's called a pipeline, and boy, did that not take very long. No wonder they call them shorts. Now let's take a step back for a moment. Remember, I didn't know any of this about Sean Ryan at the time when I was recording, so I didn't realize what had just happened when I got these shorts recommended. From here, I was unknowingly put on a path that was not only right-leaning, but also, maybe unsurprisingly, very, very, very Christian. So, let's see where it ended up taking me.
My ways higher than your ways. Is that thing that you're worried about?
I love AI Jesus. That's right. Everyone, please bow your heads and join together in prayer because we got AI Jesus.
Is this a Bible verse or is someone just talking about something?
Oh, and plenty more movie edits as well.
I'm so glad the exposure got turned up to 115 on here. It looks a lot better than the original color grading of the movie.
Then seemingly out of the blue, my YouTube algorithm decided to throw a wild card into the mix. I really don't know what led us to getting this short because the only shorts we had been watching all day were mostly Christian cooking and movies. But just like the God that I was introduced to through my Christian shorts, the YouTube algorithm must work in very mysterious ways. Because check out what I got next.
I've been accused of faking the before and after photos of this.
I mean, what's your profit margin, Ms. Kirkpatrick?
It's circa 50%.
Mr.
Josh Hawley.
Absolutely
Guys,
unbelievable. What's the,
Don't have
Josh
anything
Hawley
today.
you don't have any idea
is a
what's
Republican
happening.
senator who's like super crazy
Walmart,
right.
yeah.
Really
I've only been doing
big
this for a
mechanics.
day. I've only watched like less than 120 shorts.
Now, if there's one thing I know for sure after doing this experiment twice with both long form and short form, is that the YouTube algorithm loves this young senator from Missouri. If you make a brand new YouTube account right now, you will be introduced to Josh Hawley at some point in your journey.
I'm all for,
every one person
you know, cracking
in the
down
United
on
States
Visa,
of America. Now,
MasterCard,
do you know how much
profit
debt is
margins
owed
too.
on
Like this
your
is not something I disagree with, but it is interesting that it's this YouTube channel is showing the section where Josh Hawley is pressing them. It's highlighting Josh Hawley. It's not highlighting the hearing.
While we weren't on the far right side of YouTube Shorts yet, I knew that this clip could be the catalyst that would take us there. Alt-right pipeline, here we come.
What is this?
Everything that you sow, you will reap eventually.
Yeah, just kidding. We got more Christian shorts.
Get ready for your blessings.
Okay.
God is making.
And I mean, a lot of Christian shorts.
Look at those pecs.
That's fine too. We're going to keep going. But then from the Christian shorts, we started to get recommended motivational shorts.
Life isn't a movie. You need to have a plan, have an artist's ambition, but an engineer's mindset.
Which, from my experience, aka being an impressionable 20-year-old online back in 2016, can definitely have a strong connection to some right-leaning internet personalities.
I feel like the whole motivational side of shorts, which I just got, could definitely lead into like the Jordan Peterson, like, make sure to make your bed every morning and then from there you can get stronger.
So I was interested to see if these figures like Jordan Peterson or Joe Rogan would pop up anytime soon.
For what is your life? It is even a vapor that appeareth.
Oh yeah, and then we got more AI Jesus.
I hope this isn't the first thing I see when I die.
But then we got what I believe was the most impactful short out of this entire run so far. This one.
What really killed me was last Christmas, we canceled a song that was written in the 1940s called Baby It's Cold Outside. People were triggered by that song. Radio stations wouldn't play it. They said it had toxic masculinity in it, and they said that the lyrics had suggestions of male sexual aggression, which is fine if you feel.
Are we getting some right-leaning
the number
comedy?
one song in this nation for over 2 months was entitled "Wet." Ladies and gentlemen,
Oh my God.
I really can't stay, baby, it's cold outside. I gotta go away, baby, it's cold outside. This evening has been so very nice. With some wet. Bring a bucket and a mop for this wet.
This is like the same argument that Ben Shapiro had about this song, reading the lyrics, talking about how offensive it is.
Now, I apologize for not letting you watch the entire joke. I know it's really f***ing hilarious, but we have more important things to get to. Because my theory of this joke being related to Ben Shapiro was right on the money. Because this is what we got only 2 shorts later.
You book your next stay on MendenStays.com. 3 years ago, a lot of
You will get your chance to reply. Let me finish.
Deal in the first hold on. I listened to your whole bullshit history for like
What?
5 minutes here. So at least let me respond to it. Your entire claim is that the Arabs did not reject peace, and then in your own disquisition,
I got Ben
you admitted that
Shapiro.
the Arabs
Day
rejected
2.
the
I'm like
Guilt Commission
140
plan, which was a separation between the
shorts
Jews and
in.
the Arabs, which
The
reject
account is
the
called
Oslo
Woke
Accords
to
in
Unwoke.
93. After that, they rejected
This
the
is
Black
right-leaning.
Reports in
This is a
98. They rejected
right-leaning short.
Iraq's very
Now from here, I could tell that my shorts feed had pretty much completed the curation process, meaning that I would really only get shorts that fell into one of 5 categories. Cooking. I'm curious like how the phone or camera is like connected to their head, maybe? Sick movie edits. Another movie clip edited to music. AI voiced folk stories.
Some water into a stone bowl.
Ugh, these
and
stories
slowly
are
walked
so
toward the wolf.
boring.
The gray wolf immediately bared its sharp teeth.
More Christian content.
He will not leave you or forsake you. Do not fear or be dismayed.
And more right-leaning shorts.
Trump is the definition of standing on business.
What's the message to Iran?
Don't.
As President Biden said, just don't.
Exactly. One word. Pretty straightforward.
I'm gonna bomb the shit out of them. It's true.
In order to protect its students.
Ben Shapiro roasts Caitlyn Jenner. Isn't Caitlyn Jenner on the right
Look
now?
at me.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. So
how is that getting to us?
radio.
And where's
Are you kidding me? Yeah, I'd say we were on the right side of shorts. Oh, and the brain rot had completely overtaken me at this point. Oh my god, I can't believe they got Big Justice. Boom! Now, I don't want to bore you and make you watch 250 more shorts with me because we actually have some more important things to get to. And I promise you, you're not missing anything. It was just more movies, recipes, right-wingers, and of course, AI Jesus. Actually, mostly AI Jesus.
That I am stronger in you, that your joy is my strength.
So after feeling blessed as hell and knowing that we had been recommended a decent amount of political shorts, I was curious to see just how much of the past 10 hours and 28 minutes of doom scrolling leaned to the right. So out of the 500 shorts that I watched, 21 of them were political or political adjacent. If you're really good at quick math, you'll know that that makes up only 4% of the total amount of shorts that I watched. So one thing we've learned from this experiment so far is that if you're a new user on YouTube Shorts and you watch every single short all the way through, politics will get recommended, but it won't be a major part of your shorts journey. And remember, this is only the case if you watch every single short in its entirety. Obviously, if you engage with certain shorts more than others, you'll get recommended more of the ones that are similar to the shorts that you found engaging. Well, to the algorithm, I found all of them engaging. However, out of those 21 political shorts, 2 of them lean to the left and 19 of them to the right. It took watching only 48 shorts for the algorithm to recommend a far-right figure, and 109 shorts to get recommended something directly political, and that short just happened to be right-leaning. Shout out to Senator Josh Hawley. Now, this is all great and whatever, but here's the part of the video where I tell you that I've been lying to you this entire time. Sorry, because I've been hiding something from you. Something that just so happens to be a very important variable that I have been manipulating this entire time. A variable that I am hypothesizing plays a huge role in influencing the political leaning of the YouTube Shorts algorithm. So what if I told you that through the VPN, I selected a specific region of the United States for my IP address to appear in? I essentially picked up my computer and placed it somewhere else in the country to see if there are any regional algorithmic biases. Regional algorithmic biases. So this whole time, we've actually only been in one geographic region, and that region is Atlanta, Georgia. Despite the fact that Georgia flipped blue back in 2020, this area is fairly right-leaning. Atlanta might not be, but the surrounding counties are. Trust me, I used to live in Atlanta. It's a very, very blue city, but if you drive like 45 minutes outside the metro in any direction, things change very fast. So doing this experiment only once and in only one region of the country just doesn't give us the full picture, and it definitely doesn't answer the question of if the YouTube Shorts algorithm has a political bias. And because I'm a real journalist, oh wait, hold up. And because I'm a real journalist and not just some random guy who decided to make a YouTube video, I'm gonna be running this whole thing back again. And I'll be picking a new region of this big, beautiful, fucked up country 4 more times by blindfolding myself and then throwing a dart at a map and then seeing exactly how many shorts it takes to get to the right. Think of this as the first YouTube short alt-right regional speed run. Who knows, we might wind up in a city near you. So, let's find out if the algorithm changes to fit the majority of a political view of a certain region, or maybe it's just the same across the entire country. Spoiler alert, it's not. I hope you brought some snacks and some good tunes because we're about to go on a little alt-right road trip. Okay.
Okay.
All right, we got Atlanta out of the way. So let's see where we wind up next.
All right, what's the closest city to that? Either San Antonio or Houston. I guess we're going to Houston.
Now, for the sake of time, what I'll be doing in each one of these locations is summarizing the different genres that we got in our shorts feed. And then I'll be stopping the run as soon as we get recommended a right-leaning short. We'll record how many shorts it took to get there. At the end, we'll see what region of the country led us to the far right the quickest, algorithmically speaking. All right, let's go. So Houston mainly consisted of 3 different things. The military.
C-130 pilots are the coolest dudes on the planet, all right?
I was
Military.
called the Ugly Baby. It's actually
Getting into the
museum
military
now.
shorts.
It's only C-130 to ever get a Purple Heart.
Animals.
I just took a DNA test, turns out I'm 100% stinky.
And specifically, parrots/birds.
Officer Gibby, are you the police?
I don't know if Houston has a big military base right next to an aviary or something, but according to shorts, that's all you guys like. Oh, and I almost forgot, more AI Jesus.
I have already borne the greatest burden for you on the cross. You are not forgotten, and you are not forsaken, even in your darkest moments.
Well, after watching exactly 87 shorts of parakeets, prayers, and paratroopers, the algorithm blessed me with this.
This is why Donald Trump is gangster.
We boarded Air Force One in complete and total darkness, in the pitch black of night.
Hashtag Joe Rogan. Hashtag Joe Rogan Experience. Hashtag Iraq. Hashtag Trump 2024. Hashtag Trump Rally. Hashtag War.
Houston, we have a problem. Because it took you 88 shorts to give me something on the right. That was 21 shorts faster than Atlanta. We're off to a hot start. Houston, you are in first place. Or last, depending on how you interpret this whole thing.
All right, here we go. Illinois. I think the closest city is Chicago, so we're gonna go to...
I hated this one so much. No shade at Chicago at all, but while I was visiting, the algorithm trapped me on the absolute worst side of YouTube shorts.
What the hell? I just thought Officer Spicy could be my new mom.
Huh?
I could definitely get down with this Ohio life.
Gen Alpha shorts. This was quite literally all that I got.
Ooh, like and subscribe if I should give Daniel this miracle potion.
You don't have Robux? Then click the link in my bio.
I guess everyone in Chicago was born after 2010 because all I saw were kids shorts, Gen Alpha memes, and pets, like cats and dogs. Now, I had been here before. Last time I did this with the other video.
Fishy, fishy, fishy here, fishy, fishy, fishy.
So I knew that I was probably going to be trapped here for all of eternity and was never going to be recommended anything remotely political. Gen Alpha can't even vote yet. Why would they be getting shorts that were left or right-leaning?
Did you vote for Camellia in the elections? If you did, you lose 10,000 Riz. But if you voted for Trump, you get plus 1 million Riz. He has so much aura. Comment who you voted to for a bonus 700 Riz.
God.
If you don't comment, sorry, but you lose all your Riz points.
Oh. Well, never mind.
Gru shamed us for voting for Kamala. Here I thought that we were just gonna be stuck on the kids' shorts and never actually get to anything political. And here we are with Gru telling us how to vote or how we should have voted. Donald Trump is just to have more Riz points. Donald Trump is the Rizzler and the Riz God. This is crazy. Donald Trump has good Riz and Giga Chad jawline. Trump 2024.
Well, Chicago, all thanks to Gru and his Riz quiz, you lasted 98 shorts. Slightly longer than Houston, but not by much.
I want this new iPhone so I can subscribe to VuxBucks for free Bobucks.
I am genuinely terrified for this next generation. Okay, that sucked. All right, let's see where we go next.
Okay, here we go. San Francisco, home of the Oakland Raiders. They're in Las Vegas now.
Okay, well, hello, San Francisco. Well, according to Republican lore, San Francisco was the birthplace of the first gay, and is pretty much seen as the ground zero for the modern liberal. But hey, I'm sure there's some conservative holdouts in the Bay Area, so we could end up getting some right-leaning content, but I have a feeling it's gonna take a long time. Now, funny enough, the main categories of shorts we were getting in San Francisco consisted of comedy sketches.
I just made the rabbit disappear.
Whoa. I found it.
Ma! What the hell?
Animals, of course, and a lot of science shorts.
Hey, Vsauce, Michael here.
So far, this was the least offensive and most wholesome YouTube Shorts algorithm I had seen so far. Things were very family friendly.
It's like the most non-offensive algorithm we've had yet. Unless science pisses you off, which I know it does for some people.
But don't worry, I still got some. Say it with me. AI Jesus. Yeah, you know what they say. In this world, nothing can be said to be certain, except death, taxes, and AI Jesus.
Of your powerful presence in everything I do, wherever I go.
Well, after scrolling for 7 straight hours, I had watched, again in their entirety, over 250 shorts, and I had not gotten one thing that was even remotely political. I could have kept going, but I was sure that my feed was not leaning into politics and would probably never get there.
I'm never gonna get anything political.
So good job, San Francisco. Not only do you guys not get far right shorts, but you also just don't get any political shorts at all. Honestly, sounds kind of nice. Okay, where is our last spot to finish this whole thing off going to be?
All right, last one. Here we go. Oh, God. Okay. New York. We're going to New York City, Big Apple, home of the ground zero.
Now, I didn't really know what to expect with this one. Like Atlanta, I also used to live in New York City for a bit, and this is just from my own personal experience, but Atlanta felt more progressive to me than NYC did. Like, there might be a lot of Democrats in New York, but I wouldn't say there was a ton of progressives. I think I actually met more Trump supporters in New York City than I did in ATL. But again, your experience may vary. So anyway, I felt like this one could go either way. And wow, what the hell? This run ended up being probably the most unpredictable thing that I could have predicted. Well, that sounded stupid. All right, so breaking down New York. We had a lot of animals.
Yeah, I love you.
A lot of Jesus.
Show your faith by typing amen in the comments.
Actually, the most Jesus we've had so far.
If you love me, stay for 20 seconds. If you believe in the transforming power of Jesus Christ, Christ's transforming
Is he talking to me?
And over and over and over again, we heard a song. The same song that we heard all the way back on the 5th short we watched in Atlanta, Die With a Smile, by Bruno Mars and Lady Gaga.
This freaking dog, guys.
Now, nothing was looking too political yet, but then I got recommended a short with Neil deGrasse Tyson.
How many people know this? Often it's mind-blowing when you learn that some infinities are bigger than others.
But yeah, you might recognize those famous red curtains behind them.
Joe Rogan
Oh my
just
God,
leaned 2
it's
feet
Joe
away
Rogan.
from the microphone.
So again, nothing political yet, but I knew from past experience that Joe Rogan shorts can inadvertently, or maybe advertently, put you into right-leaning content. And I was right, because a few shorts later, we got Jordan Peterson.
Is in disguise. And the guy left.
No
the lecture,
way.
And he went home and, you know, he helped my mom do the dishes. And then Dad came home from work and rather than
interesting.
said, "Hey, Dad, how was work?"
But again, he wasn't talking about anything political, so I'm still not going to count this yet. Again and again, we kept getting political adjacent shorts, but nothing direct yet.
Hey, Andrew Huberman.
What am I going to do? Find something that's generative that you're passionate about.
Like AI.
Maybe I was just looking too hard for something that New York never had to offer. But then, in a moment of divine intervention, I got a short that reminded me what I must do.
Do you have 1 second for God?
Mm-hmm.
Nice. Heavenly Father, I pray you give this person peace and joy that nobody can ever take away from them. Help them realize that they're stressed because they're trying to do it all on their own. But they can have peace if they leave it all in your hands. Take their burdens and worries and help them realize that everything that's out of their control is in your control. And you're working all things together for their good.
I needed to relinquish control and just let Jesus take over from here. AI Jesus, take the mouse wheel and take me where I need to go.
I want to make abortion illegal because it is the only applicable extension of laws we already and standards we already have in the West. Correct.
Oh God, Jesus, no, not Charlie Kirk. Yeah, after 243 New York shorts, we got the founder of Turning Point USA.
I should have known the religion shorts were going to bring us to something like this eventually. I just, yeah, this is it. Well, we got there.
If you aren't familiar, Turning Point USA is a nonprofit organization, and they advocate for far-right extremism. They mostly cater to white male grievances, claiming to be victims of woke values like equality and inclusion. Their main objective is to promote authoritarianism and anti-democratic governance in the United States. So TLDR, they're pretty far-right.
But the political views that we're talking about here are all defensible using reason and Western tradition.
All right, so here are all the cities with the corresponding amounts of shorts it took to get to the far right, with Houston being the quickest and San Francisco never even getting there. But is this a chicken and egg situation? Which one really came first? Do the shorts promote the far right, or does the far right promote the shorts? Well, after watching YouTube shorts for exactly 22 hours, 31 minutes, and 25 seconds, I'm going to try to make some sense of all of this. What I've found through this journey is that there are enough videos on this platform to keep you watching for the rest of your life, plus give or take a few thousand years. And that's the thing. It really just comes down to keeping you here on this website for as long as possible. That's it. I'm not saying that's good or bad. That is objectively the point of the algorithm. It doesn't exist to teach you anything or help you in any way. It only exists to feed you content it thinks will make you stay here until you have to go do that other pesky thing called life.
So a lot of the time, the people who are getting interested in this pipeline and beginning to go down it don't even share these political values to begin with and are radicalized by this pipeline because it continues to show them things that elicit an emotional response. You know, and that is a big thing that I've seen talked about a lot recently is that, you know, just how many sort of news outlets and, you know, media sort of pundits, you know, benefit by keeping us really angry and by, you know, feeding us things that will intentionally rile people up because it's the thing that gets clicks. It's the thing that drives that, you know, engagement and gives you all that watch time. So, you know, companies like YouTube, like Instagram, like TikTok, they benefit by showing you this misinformation because it's inflammatory and it might get you to, you know, interact with it more than just a normal, you know, science video.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that says a lot about kind of determining which way an algorithm might lean. The answer is it doesn't lean anyway.
Yeah, completely.
It's going to show you videos that it thinks you're going to like based off of like the traction that that video has received before. And inflammatory content gets more views than non-inflammatory. So
I believe that a lot of people who fall down these far-right pipelines all go through a very similar experience. It starts with a genuine curiosity to understand the world around us. We all have questions that we're trying to find the answers to. Why can't I afford to buy a home? How do I get a six-pack? Who built the pyramids? Why don't I feel happy anymore? No matter which way you may lean politically, we all have the same questions. We all feel the same way. We're all experiencing this world together. The only difference, in my opinion, is that one political ideology, that being the far right, has successfully capitalized on answering these questions that we have. But the caveat is their answers are only there to serve their own political agenda. They're not there to actually help you. And to me, the most frustrating thing about all of this is that the liberals or the Democrats in power don't even try to come up with answers. They just think that, oh, as long as we're the lesser of two evils, then we'll win an election eventually, right? I don't think so. Neoliberalism is dead, and populism killed it. And from a purely social media perspective, populist rhetoric algorithmically performs a lot better than rhetoric promoting the elitist status quo of the so-called American left. It's just not what people want anymore. So why would the algorithm give it to them? All of this is to say, don't let the algorithm fool you into endorsing content that makes you shift your contempt and distrust towards people who don't have any power.
If there is any, a third installation in this series, I think that starting with a fresh account and just a history video and seeing where it ends up would be very interesting.
Interesting. Okay,
So if you guys want to see episode 3,
comment down below
before the
history, nothing else.
Yeah. Well, Ben, best of luck, Godspeed, and I'm looking forward to hearing how it goes.
Thank you so much, Milo.
Appreciate
Thanks
it, man.
for coming on.
Of course, it's a pleasure.
I don't think algorithms truly reflect who we are, what we like, the way that we think. YouTube and any other social media platform that feeds you suggested content is only guessing what it thinks you'll like. And from there, it can mold you into whatever it wants, if you let it. It doesn't know right from wrong. It doesn't understand good from evil. It's never experienced what you've experienced. It doesn't know you. It just thinks that it does. But hey, it did know you well enough to suggest this video, so I guess it's not all that bad. As always, a huge shout out to all of my beautiful patrons here. If you want to help support my channel and help me make more videos like this, you can either give this video a like, you can pick yourself up some brand new merch, or come on over and join my Patreon. I'm actually about to post a video on there where I did a legit alt-right speedrun where I was deliberately influencing the algorithm on my shorts feed. So I tried to get to the alt-right as fast as possible, and it was a lot of fun to make, and I think it's a lot of fun to watch. So be sure to join so you can check it out. Anyway, it's been a minute, and thank you so much for watching. Also, 1 like on this video equals 1 AI Jesus prayer. So let's make sure we get some prayers in there, guys.